Hi everyone! In this video, we will classify different types of real numbers. Classify the number as a whole number, integer, rational number, irrational number, and or real number. We have the number 5 and 2/7, but before we classify it, let's review the real number system. Here we have a diagram of the real number system. The real numbers started developing with the counting numbers, more for practicality's sake of trade and flocks and crops and different things they needed to keep track of. Then, as civilizations got more developed, the number 0 was developed, the something to represent nothing. Then, as numbers continued to be developed, we continued with all of the same numbers before, the counting numbers, then the whole numbers that included the 0, and now as integers we have negative numbers. Then added to that continued development was the rational numbers that included fractions. Fractions are numbers that can be written as a fraction, and all of the numbers prior to this also can be written as a fraction. Integers, whole numbers, and counting numbers can be written as a fraction by placing it over a 1. Another way to write a fraction is by a finite decimal. A decimal that ends or terminates, such as the decimal 0.5, which is the fraction 1/2. We can also have infinite decimals. However, these infinite decimals must be repeating, whether it be one digit or a group of digits. Such as the decimal 0.3 repeating, and it can be represented with dots or it can be represented with a line over the top of it. These decimals are the fraction 1/3. Then the next step was numbers that didn't fit in any of these categories. These are irrational numbers. These are infinite non-repeating decimals. And they all fit in the category of the real number system. When we classify a number, it takes that set and all of the numbers above it. So the counting numbers are counting, whole, integer, rational, and real numbers. However, they do not include the ones prior. So the whole numbers are whole numbers, integers, rational, and real, but the whole numbers are not the counting numbers because we've added to it. So we will look at our number, which is a fraction, 5 and 2/7. We could write this as an improper fraction, but it can be written as a fraction because it is a fraction, which means it falls into our category or type, which is rational. It can be written as a fraction. And because it takes all of the types of numbers above it, these rational numbers are also real numbers. So our number 5 and 2/7 is a rational number and a real number. And we're all done.